Hey guys, welcome back to the CreditVerse channel. It's finally here. It's the big one. It's one you've been asking for in the comments, the DMs, and even through email. Today we're crowning the absolute best credit cards in Canada for 2025. Now let's be real for a second. The Canadian credit card landscape is a bit of a battlefield right now. We've seen a lot of discourse about changes in interchange fees, we've seen new players like Wealthsimple disrupting the big banks, and we've seen some of the classic heavy hitters like American Express, TD, CIBC, and Scotia fighting for a place in your wallet. Here at CreditVerse, we've spent the last 12 months testing out all of these cards. We've paid the annual fees, we've flown the airlines, and we've tapped our phones on thousands of terminals to figure out exactly which pieces of plastic, or sometimes even metal, deserve your hard-earned money. So whether you're a student just starting to build credit, a churner looking for that next business class flight to Tokyo, or a parent who just wants to maximize cashback on your massive grocery bill, we have a winner for you today. This year we have 17 categories to get through, and we aren't pulling any punches. We're going to look at the earn rates, the insurance, the hidden perks, and the ugly truths about some of the most popular cards out there. Grab a coffee, maybe even go grab a notepad, because this is the definitive list. Welcome to the 2025 Credit Card Awards. Let's get into it. We're going to start off with the most important category for like 90% of Canadians. It's the best everyday earner. And honestly, was there ever really any doubt? The winner is once again the American Express Cobalt. Let's break down why this card is really the undisputed king here. It all comes down to those multipliers. It earns 5 points per dollar on eats and drinks, which isn't just fancy dining. It's your local grocery store, your morning coffee, your Friday night bar tab, and your food delivery apps like Uber Eats and DoorDash. If you spend $1,000 per month on food, which let's be honest, in 2025 with inflation is a pretty easy thing to do for a family, you're earning 5,000 points a month. That's 60,000 points here just on eating food. And the real superpower here is that it earns American Express membership reward points. These aren't just stuck in a portal. You can transfer them out at a 1-to-1 ratio to airline and hotel partners. So for example, Aeroplan or British Airways. Most valuations put Aeroplan points at around 2 cents per point. So when you earn 5 points per dollar spent, you're effectively getting a 10% return on all of that spend. Yes, this year we did see the monthly fee go up to $15.99, but if you spend even $500 a month on food, the points value absolutely crushes that fee, and I would say it's an essential card for all Canadians. Now I know that not everybody wants to mess around with transferring points out to airlines. Some of you just want cold, hard cash to pay down your balance. So for you, we've created an award for the best cashback card, and this year it goes to the CIBC Dividend Visa Infinite. This card is an absolute workhorse. It offers a staggering 4% back on groceries and gas. Now let's just think about your budget. What are your two biggest variable expenses? It's likely feeding your family and fueling up your car. Getting 4% back on every single dollar there is pretty massive. You also get 2% on daily transit, dining and recurring bills, and 1% back everywhere else. CIBC used to be quite annoying with these redemptions, only giving you the entire balance once a year or when you close the card, but now that they fixed that, you can redeem your cash back on demand as long as you have $25 accumulated. It's flexible, it's fast, and honestly, it just works. I also do have to give a shout out to the TD Cashback Visa Infinite. It's a very close second place, giving you 3% back on groceries, gas, and recurring bills. So why did it lose? It kind of came down to simple math. The 4% back is greater than 3%, and often you'll see a better return on your groceries and gas category being at 4% a year. That being said, if you do bank with TD and you get your annual fee waived because of your checking account here, this card is definitely a better card to get. For everybody else though, I would probably end up sticking with the CIBC one. Let's talk about no fee cards. Usually these cards are, to put it quite kindly, pretty trash. They offer 0.5% back across the board and really no perks. That being said, there is one diamond in the rough here. The best freebie card that's actually worth carrying is the Simply Financial Cashback Visa. This card does one thing exceptionally well: dining. You get 4% cashback at restaurants, bars, and coffee shops, up to a spend of $5,000 per year. Think about that. You're paying $0 in annual fees, but you're getting an annual return that rivals premium cards that cost $150 per year. So who is this card really for? I'd say it's really the perfect secondary card. Maybe you have a card that's great for groceries, but bad for dining. You keep the Simply card in your wallet, or in this case, potentially in your digital wallet, specifically for when you go out to eat. It costs you nothing to keep active, and it generates really high yields on some of your fun money. If you're a student or someone who refuses to pay for annual fees, this is honestly a non-negotiable addition to your wallet. To the students watching, I see you. You're paying tuition, you're eating instant noodles, and you're really trying to build up a credit score so you can maybe, potentially, possibly afford a house one day. As much as I joke, I definitely think there's a lot of value in getting a credit score early, and it's probably best to do that with a card that's fairly competitive. That's why this year, the best student card for 2025 is the BMO Cashback Student MasterCard. Student cards usually have terrible earn rates, but BMO kind of changed the game here. They offer 3% cashback on groceries, which for a no-fee student card is completely unheard of. Additionally, you also get 1% back on recurring bills. As a student, your biggest non-tuition expense is likely food, and getting 3% back on your grocery runs is a legitimate way to save a little bit of money. Plus, it's a MasterCard, so it's accepted at Costco and no frills, which are really just student staples. Okay, so let's move into travel. You want to dip your toes in the points and miles game, but you don't make a ton of money every single year, or you don't want to pay a huge fee to get something like an Amex Platinum. There's still a fairly competitive list of options here that you should be considering for your first travel card. For us here at CreditVerse, the best starter travel card is the RBC Avion Visa Platinum. This card is really the gateway drug to the travel rewards game. It has a lower annual fee than like the Amex Gold or some of the Visa Infinite Privilege series, and income requirements are much more relaxed. With that though, you still get the same access to the Avion program you'd get on any of the other Visa Infinite cards. Avion is great because of the fixed points flight chart. You can fly short haul for 5, 10, or 15,000 points, and it's really simple to understand. You don't really need to be a math wizard to use it. And if you do feel like graduating from that fixed points flight chart, you can transfer your points out to British Airways or Cathay Pacific if you do want to get a bit fancy. It also comes with pretty decent insurance for a platinum tier travel card. It's nothing to write home about, but it'll get you across the line. Honestly, I think it's the perfect step before you graduate to the big leagues. Perhaps stepping it up a notch, you're willing to pay maybe a bit more of a fee, but you're really just looking for a massive points accumulation. I feel like this award is named a bit incorrectly, but the best mid-tier travel card we'd say is the Scotiabank American Express. You might want to call this the best travel workhorse. This card is a point generating machine. You earn 16 points for every dollar spent at Sobeys, IGA, Safeway, Foodland, and Freshco, and 5 points for other grocery stores, as well as dining and entertainment, like movies or going to the theater. You also earn 3 points on gas and streaming. The strategy here is that scene points are incredibly flexible. You can apply them to any travel expense at the exact same rate. So you can book a flight, a hotel, or even an Airbnb, and just use your points to pay it off directly. It doesn't give you that same value on the top end like some of the transferable points currencies, but you know exactly what you'll be getting with the card. It's also one of the few cards in Canada with no foreign transaction fees, which means you're saving 2.5% on everything you buy online or in-store in USD or any other currency. And when you combine the high earn rates with the no forex fee, the value prop here is really off the charts. Now we're talking luxury. If you travel multiple times a year, if you value comfort, and if you want status, there's really only one winner. The best premium travel card of 2025, as it's been for the last 5 years running or so, is the American Express Platinum. We have to talk about the annual fee here. It's $799. I know, take a breath, but also take a look at what you get. For lounge access in Canada, you get into the Plaza Premium Lounges, as well as Priority Pass and Centurion Lounges globally. A couple of beers and a hot meal at the airport for yourself and a guest a few times a year is hundreds of dollars in value. Talking about hotel status, you instantly become Gold Elite with Marriott and Gold with Hilton, which means room upgrades, late checkouts, and free breakfast at certain properties. You also get a $200 annual travel credit and a $200 annual dining credit, and if you use those, and honestly you probably should, the effective fee drops to $399. This card also has one of the most robust insurance suites in all of Canada. There's emergency medical, trip cancellation, lost baggage, rent-a-car insurance, hotel burglary insurance, the list goes on and on. But if things go wrong on a trip, you really do want to have peace of mind, and when you book with this card, I honestly think you do. But we do have to keep it real here. That brings us to our next award, the most overhyped card. And yes, the winner is also the American Express Platinum.
What?
Now, how can this card be the best premium travel card and also the most overhyped? It's because I think people tend to use it wrong. I see people flexing this card when they're paying their grocery bill or at the gas station all the time, and that's really not the way to do it. The earn rates on this card are, again, to put it very kindly, kind of trash. You earn 2 points per dollar spent on travel and dining and 1 point everywhere else. If you're spending $200 on the grocery store on your Platinum card, you're effectively earning a fifth of the points you would have otherwise earned on the Cobalt. I would really describe this card as a sock drawer card. You keep it for the lounge access, the hotel status, and the insurance. Of course, you book your flights on it, but for the love of everything holy, please don't use it for your daily coffee. It really lives and dies by the perks, not by the points. On a more positive note, let's talk about some easy wins. Sometimes you don't want to track minimum spend requirements, and you don't want to worry about having to spend like $5,000 or $10,000 in 3 months to get a full bonus. I feel this pretty often, and it's a reason we created the easiest welcome bonus category, and this year it goes to the RBC Avion Visa Infinite. The base bonus as seen on this card is 35,000 points upon approval. Read my lips here. Upon approval. You apply, you get approved, and you pay the annual fee, which is $120, and boom, 35,000 points land in your account at your next statement. So what's 35,000 Avion points worth? It's enough for a long haul flight within North America, or a one-way ticket to Europe plus some taxes and fees. If you do convert those points to British Airways Avios during a transfer bonus of about 30%, you can get pretty incredible value here. You're getting about 50-ish thousand points back, which is enough for a round trip flight to Europe from Toronto or Montreal. It's really the easiest way to buy a cheap flight in Canada, and I would definitely recommend it to everybody. If you are enjoying the video so far and you want more like this in 2026, definitely be sure to hit subscribe. We're trying to hit 2,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and while that might be a bit tough, I think we can really do it. So if you are watching and you see you haven't subscribed and you've been seeing this in your recommendations pretty often, just hit that button. It really helps us out quite a lot. For those of you who live your life on the 401 or commute an hour a day or drive for Uber, this category is for you. It's the best card for drivers. And this here is a tie between the Amex Simply Cash Preferred and the CIBC Dividend Visa Infinite. Both these cards offer effectively an uncapped 4% cashback on gas, but it's 2025, so we also have to mention EV charging, which again, both these cards recognize under the gas category. If you prefer Amex, the Simply Cash Preferred is really great because it's 4% back on gas and 2% back everywhere else. If you prefer Visa, because let's say you shop at Loblaws or No Frills, there's the CIBC Dividend Visa Infinite. Either way, if you have a vehicle, you should really have one of these two cards in your rotation. Foreign transaction fees are really the silent killer of budgets. That 2.5% surcharge every bank adds when you buy something in USD or euros adds up really fast. We have two winners here. For the best no forex fee travel card, the Scotia Passport Visa Infinite is really a staple. Not only do you save that 2.5% fee, you get 6 free airport lounge passes per year with the Visa Airport Companion program. If you travel internationally once or twice a year, this card pays for itself pretty instantly. Switching gears to the best no foreign exchange fee everyday card is the Wealthsimple Visa Infinite. If you're buying things online from US retailers or you're a bit of a digital nomad, the Wealthsimple Visa Infinite has become the new champion. It integrates perfectly with your investment accounts, has no foreign exchange fee, and offers a flat cashback structure with a really clean and simple to understand interface. This modern card stops the banks from skimming off the top of some of your vacation spending. Costco, the land of the $1.50 hot dog and the $400 grocery bill. You can only use MasterCard at Costco in Canada, and believe it or not, the official CIBC Costco MasterCard is not the winner for the best Costco card in Canada. This award instead goes to the Rogers Red World Elite MasterCard. If you're a Rogers, Fido, or Shaw customer, this card is an absolute cheat code. You earn 2% cashback on everything. Everything. This includes your massive Costco runs. But here's where a bit of an advanced strategy comes in. If you use your cashback to pay off your Rogers or Fido phone or internet bill, they give you a 50% redemption bonus. This effectively turns this into a 3% cashback card for Costco, which no other card even comes close to. If you have a Rogers or Fido service and you go to Costco, you definitely need this card. Unfortunately, in Canada, the credit card market can be pretty stale, but every few years a disruptor comes along. The best newcomer award for this year goes to the Wealthsimple Visa Infinite. This card offers 2% cashback on everything, no categories to track, and no distinct gas or grocery limits that other cards may end up getting. This 2% back goes straight into your cash or investing account, and it really creates a flywheel while you're spending, automatically funds your retirement or your investment portfolio. I know this card is currently in the rollout phase, but I think these specs are pretty incredible, and honestly, I think it's fighting the title for one of the best credit cards in Canada right out of the gate, and I know the big banks are shaking in their boots. Everybody loves a good comeback story. A few years ago, BMO's travel lineup was looking a little bit sad, but they've really turned it around. The comeback of the year goes to BMO with the VI Porter World Elite MasterCard. It wins because Porter Airlines is expanding aggressively. They're flying actual jets now, and they're going across the continent. BMO realized this and knew they had to hop on the rocket ship somehow, and ended up creating a new credit card. If you fly Porter, I think this card is amazing. You get decent earn rates. Most importantly, the points pricing for Porter is pretty comparable to Air Canada sometimes, and you do actually get status with this card. The Venture status gives you a free carry-on and a free check bag, regardless of what fare choice you pick, which means on a basic fare, you'll be getting a free check bag and a free carry-on for no additional dollars. And it's first year free as well, meaning you can really try out these perks, try Porter if you haven't done it before, and see if you're actually getting value here. For me, it really put BMO back on the map here for Canadian travelers who are really tired of the Air Canada and WestJet duopoly, and kudos to BMO for this one. I don't give them a lot of credit, but they did a very, very, very good job here. Kind of off topic here, but the card also looks really, really cool. I'll put it up somewhere here. I have my physical one, is just kind of far away, but it's one of the best looking cards in Canada. And honestly, I think more cards should have a bit more of a fun design. The Porter Raccoon is a bit of a staple, and honestly, I think more banks need to have a bit more fun. Sometimes though, the strength of the loyalty program is all that really matters. So the award for the best co-branded card in Canada goes to all the Aeroplan cards. Game has to recognize game here. Even though I don't love the Air Canada and WestJet duopoly, I have to say they've created an absolutely stellar loyalty program. Whether you hold the TD Aeroplan Visa Infinite or the CIBC Aeroplan or the Amex Aeroplan Reserve, you're really winning here. Because the Aeroplan program is practically a second currency in Canada. Holding any of these cards gives you access to the free first check bag benefit on all Air Canada flights, as well as insurance on all your award bookings. For check bags alone, since they cost from $35 to $50 each way, a single family of 4 can save hundreds of dollars on a single trip just by holding the card. For me, the benefits are standardized, the points are super valuable, and if you do fly Air Canada, you 100% need one of these in your pocket. And finally, the moment you've all been waiting for, we've looked at cashback, travel, premium perks, and some student options, but there can be only one GOAT. The best credit card in Canada for 2025 is the American Express Cobalt. The summary here is that it wins in almost every category that actually matters. It has the best earn rate on dining and food delivery, it has the best points currency, a pretty reasonable annual fee, and pretty reasonable perks. Even with Amex acceptance being slightly lower than Visa or MasterCard, though it's significantly better in 2025 than what it used to be, the value proposition is just too high to really ignore. If you maximize that 5x category, you're earning a return on spend that's double or triple what other cards offer. If you only carry one credit card in 2025, you should probably change that, get a Visa or MasterCard backup, but your primary card must be the Cobalt. Before we sign off here, let's look into the crystal ball. The card I'm most excited for in 2026 is the Wealthsimple Visa Infinite. I know it already won Best Newcomer already, and right now it's still rolling out, but once this card fully opens up to the public and leaves the waitlist phase, it's going to force a bit of a shift in the market. A flat 2% back on everything with no foreign exchange fees, issued by a company that isn't really a traditional bank. It's the future, and I do expect the big banks to have to adjust their strategy a little bit in order to really make up for it. So there you have it, the 2025 Credit Card Awards. We've linked all the winning cards in the description below, along with some detailed reviews if you do want to dive deep into the fine print of any specific card. I also now want to hear from you. Did we get it right? Are you team cashback or team travel? Is the Amex Platinum actually worth it, or do you agree that it's pretty overhyped? Let me know in the comments down below. I read every single one. I'm Alion, this is CreditVerse, and until next year, keep earning those points.